Friends of One Korea Forum around the world, such a pleasure to see you once again. 1 year ago today, we had a rather big gathering in Seoul, where I think almost all of you participated. And at the time, I had the pleasure of saying a few words. One of the things I said at the forum was this, which is, we do not know when, but one day we will have unification. So that's the reason why we must continue to think about unification and talk about unification and prepare for unification. That's what I said 1 year ago today. Today, I want to say the same thing, but I have to begin with one dire caveat. That is about something I would call unification index in my mind. That index for the past 1 year has been going downward, unfortunately. So when I talk about unification, I always say there are 3 dimensions of work. 1, national dimension within South Korea itself. 2, inter-Korean dimension between South and North Korea. 3, international dimension, especially among countries in Northeast Asia. So let us just try to look at those dimensions one by one. National dimension. I think the first thing we must get done in Korea is to build national consensus on the basis for unification. And I think that basis must include such values as freedom, democracy, and human rights, including right to choose and practice religion. Talking about those values, what I have to tell you is, the past 1 year, we saw many developments inimical to those values. Populism is everywhere. Large number of politicians, they are succumbing to temptation to use power in a very coercive manner. Nationalism of virulent, aggressive, and hostile type, again, is spreading around the world. And these developments, in fact, undermine those values we cherish, namely freedom, democracy, and human rights. And thus, in fact, it is undermining the basis for unification. Let me move on to inter-Korean relationship. Unification would have to be achieved in a peaceful manner between South and North Korea. If it is to be achieved in a peaceful manner, it in fact should be based upon respect and good faith between South and North Korea. So I just look upon my own government, Moon government. I don't think there is any shortage of respect and good faith from the South Korean government to North Korea. Unfortunately, North Korea is not reciprocating it. If anything, it continues to threaten South Korea with military provocations. It continues to pillory South Korea with contempt. Last June, it even bombed and destroyed inter-Korean liaison office, which in my mind was a symbol of exchange and communication between South and North Korea. I was just watching the scene of bombing and explosion of inter-Korean liaison office. If anything, it tells a story of frustration on the part of North Korea. Where does it come from? It comes from economic sanction, I guess. It comes from COVID-19, I guess. But at the same time, what North Korea must understand is this, which is, it doesn't come from South Korea. It doesn't come from United States. It doesn't come from the international community. It comes from its obsession with its weapons of mass destruction. So the first thing which must happen is North Korea must give up nuclear weapons and try to learn how to approach South Korea with respect and good faith. That didn't happen for the past 1 year. If anything, it got even worse. So let me move on to the third dimension, which is international dimension. When we talk about unification, we often talk about lessons of Germany. And if there is very important one lesson to learn from German unification is international dimension. That is to say, German unification owe a lot to this partnership between President Bush of the United States and Chancellor Helmut Kohl of Germany. It's an illusion to think that that would have been possible without this partnership and without this common understanding among all the important nations related with German unification. So let us think about international relations in our part of the world, in Northeast Asia. Interstate relations in our part of the world that unfortunately for the past 1 year has been moving from bad to worse. And this COVID-19, which is ravaging the whole world for the time being, it doesn't help. So let us just try to put them together. National dimension, inter-Korean dimension, and international dimension. For the past 1 year, as we already taken a look, things moved in a wrong direction. So that is the reason why I said, well, let's just try to be fair. Things have moved in the wrong direction for the past 1 year at all those important dimensions and levels. Am I worried? Yes, I am. But at the same time, it doesn't stop me from believing one day we will have unification. So that is the reason why I tell you we must keep on thinking about unification, talking about unification, and taking action to prepare for unification. That's what we have been doing all the time. That's what we will have to do for the coming 1 year. And next year, let me hope that all of us will be able to get together, well, not online, but offline for another big gathering among us and try to compare our notes. So until then, take care, be safe, and God bless you all. Thank you so much.